Oh boy, I am late to this party. So last month I saw Iron Lung, and listen, I'm a little late. I get it. Let's just move past that for a minute because I still really want to talk about the movie. I have been a big fan of Markiplier's for years, like many years at this point, and I was there. I was there for some of these big moments that led up to Iron Lung. I was there for Who Killed Markiplier. I was there for Wilford Mother Loving Worf Stash or Damien. I was there for A Heist with Markiplier. I was not there for In Space with Markiplier. I haven't played that one yet. Please don't kill me, Markiplier. But with that context, I feel like it's important to lay that out because I legitimately already knew that I would probably have a good time seeing Iron Lung when I heard it was coming out. This is because I've seen all those previous projects. I've seen especially the Wilford Mother Loving Worf Stash video. Not only was that video like a real like display to me of like, oh, that like Markiplier could make a movie someday. But it was also like just something that legitimately inspires me a lot because whenever Markiplier would like make one of these big projects, he'd also generally do like a live stream where he'd break down a lot of the stuff that went into it. And so like watching a lot of these behind the scenes things like gave me some early knowledge on how I could like make videos or movies or other such things to keep in mind or things that could like help influence my abilities, right? And genuinely like in those early projects, you do see some like really good cinematography and you do see some really clear choices on how to make the like visual personality of the story. And I most specifically talk about Wilford Mother Loving Worf Stash because that's the one that feels the most like a short film that would like then lead to Iron Lung, right? Or at least in the sense that like Who Killed Markiplier is a first person project, and so is A Date with Markiplier, or A Heist with Markiplier, or A Space Mart with Markiplier that I never played. All of this to say that I figured it would be a pretty good time. And guess what? I was not disappointed. I am not huge on horror because I generally find a lot of the tropes in the horror genre kind of annoying, especially things like really dumb characters or people hitting those moments where it's like, okay, at what point do you leave? And generally that point is pretty early on in the movie. Most horror movies really don't scare me at all. I don't know if that's because I just know how the sausage is made too well, or if it's just that gore doesn't get to me. But I'm at the point to where I find A Quiet Place way more scary than a movie like It or a movie like Smile, and people call that a thriller. So like, I don't know. Horror is lame, but Iron Lung was definitely a big exception to this for me. It's important for me to note that I do try with horror. I am trying with horror. I really liked Saw. I really liked um frick, I'm sure I liked something else. I liked Final Destination, but I don't know if that one really that one definitely doesn't count as horror to me. That was not scary at all. Not even suspenseful. Okay, enough about talking about like general horror or literally everything but Iron Lung. My biggest praise for Iron Lung is the cinematography is legitimately incredible. Like I went into this movie not knowing like how are you going to make a submarine like super cinematic for like 2 hours, right? And I was astounded by the vast number of shots you could get out of Markiplier pressing a single button. And like not just like with all the different types of shots, like they were really good shots too. Like these were really good shots. And it's like not just for that one button, but like just throughout the entirety of the movie. Just the cinematography was very consistently very good throughout the entirety. Like all around, the visuals are really, really good. Like I really enjoyed the color grading on it. I really enjoy the contrast of like light and shadow in the movie. The special effects were amazing. Like this, I couldn't point at like a specific thing and go like, oh yeah, that's 110% definitely a CGI element, which like was obviously used in the movie, but I just couldn't put my finger directly on it. Now, I feel like it's very tempting after seeing the movie, because I'm definitely victim of this, of like, telling like friends and stuff, like, like for an indie film by like a first time director, like, yeah, it's a pretty good, pretty dang good and impressive first film. But like, honestly, like legitimately, I feel like it's just a great movie in general. Does that mean it's a perfect movie by any chance? Not necessarily. I think people have very valid gripes with it, such as the pacing being very slow in the beginning. I think some people have some issues with some aspects of the ending, like whether that's the sound or they wish more was explained. Maybe there's really not much for people who have not played the game, not heard of the game, but are just watching the movie. Maybe they'd be a bit confused with the lack of exposition. And while I think those are like valid criticisms to have, they really don't bother me. I don't mind the slow pacing at the beginning because I really didn't notice it. I was too like engrossed by the cinematography. Also, with a lot of horror films, I just kind of expect them to be kind of a slow burnish for the first like 30 minutes. That way we can actually like set up a threat and like set up what's supposed to be terrifying. And maybe that's why I don't find many horror movies scary, because they don't make the time to actually set things up. Some of the audio with some of the vocal effects on some certain voices, I think I got most of it. I don't think I got all of it, but I don't think I needed to. Listen, I've seen a lot of Christopher Nolan movies. At this point, I think audio is generally optional as far as understanding the dialogue is. As much as I generally like dialogue being audible, I can appreciate when it's not. Really, we're not going to retain most of the dialogue in a scene, and I don't think we really need it all the time. Maybe that's a hot take of Goom for the day. I think another gripe I might have heard from a couple people online is Markiplier's acting. I think the general consensus is that it's pretty good, but it's still pretty hard to not see Markiplier, which I think is funny, because like, who went into this movie knowing Markiplier was the starring role and going like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to tell at all because he's going to be such a great actor, or even hoping for that? Because like, yeah, we're going to recognize him, yeah, we're going to know it's him. Honestly, I think he does an incredible job playing the part, given the fact that we do know him. I think he does a really good job, especially at the start of the movie, to really make some choices that really help divorce himself from the character, so that we can have that gap from reality and the character. If that makes any sense. I feel like he starts to feel a bit more like Markiplier as the movie progresses, but that doesn't bother me because I'm still already sold onto this new character that he's actually playing. As far as lore goes, I'm not super big on Iron Lung lore. I've seen videos on it. I've seen the Markiplier video on it, but I'm not like super good at understanding the lore. I couldn't break it down for you in the 10-hour long YouTube video. But all in all, I was still able to really enjoy the story. I was really enjoying especially like a section where it feels like Markiplier's character is really understanding how things work in the submarine. There's a certain point to the movie where you start to feel like this is a pretty smart like horror protagonist, which I always appreciate, a smart horror protagonist. And I think there's a lot of mystery that I really personally don't want explained. I'm really glad we didn't see outside of the Iron Lung throughout the movie, because while it would have been good to get a sense of scope throughout the film, and while it probably would have been good for establishing a better threat, I think there's something that really helps the ominous and mysterious nature that we don't get to see that. And since this has an element of cosmic horror to it, it really helps build this idea that we're probably not even supposed to be able to actually see what's in the ocean, like with our bare eyes. So all in all, I just really like this movie. I really don't have much more to say about how I feel towards the movie, aside from the fact that I'm excited to see whatever Markiplier does next, which probably won't be for another like 3 years or something. And mind you, I didn't bring this up earlier at all, but I really don't have much interest in the game. I saw the Markiplier video, and I saw like maybe a couple other videos on the game, but really like nothing about the game looks that appealing to me. There's nothing that looks particularly scary about the game for me. The gameplay loop looks really, really boring. So I feel like this movie really took the best elements that's in the game and really put it in a format that I can really appreciate it. All right, let's get some final thoughts out of the way here. I have not put a number on this and letterboxed yet. I'm gonna give it. What do I want to give it? I'm gonna give it a 4.5. Yeah, that sounds right. It's not inherently one of my favorite movies of all time, but it's a movie I still really appreciate. It's a movie I definitely want to watch again. Probably several different times throughout my life. I'm really glad I watched it, and I'm really excited to see what Markiplier has going next. And maybe there is a chance I'm biased because I'm a fan of Markiplier. Maybe there's a chance I'm biased because I also want to do indie filmmaking or filmmaking in some sort of format. Maybe I'm biased because I want to jump from being YouTuber to filmmaker like Markiplier has. Maybe all of that is making me inherently biased. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Doesn't change the fact that I think it's great. So watch the movie if you haven't. And if you have, don't get bored by giant fish people, monster god things.